Hello, today I want to look at what a breech baby is and if we should be trying to turn them. Well, a breech baby is when your baby is more in the sitting position rather than their head down. And they could be completely sitting like this, more with their legs crossed even, or have their legs more up by the head and then their bottoms really down in the pelvis. And a lot of women get quite worried in their third trimester of pregnancy because their baby is in this position. But actually, it's quite a normal position for a baby to be in. I think sometimes people think that you can kind of somehow fix a baby in a position, but it's actually better not to, because as you're moving around, the baby's moving around and they get strengthened by your movements. And it's actually quite good preparation for them for birth and also for life on earth. And so this baby, many babies at the beginning of the third trimester, from about 32 weeks, are in this position, but they don't stay in this position. They actually move around quite a lot. They can move into the side, and most babies, about only 3 to 4% of babies are actually still breech at the time of delivery. So how and should we be trying to turn them? Well, they will actually naturally turn, most of them, as I've already said. Some people talk about an acupuncture point, which I will get onto. And I think a lot of what we're doing with a breech baby is preparation for birth, as any mother would. And so actually it's helpful for anybody. So I'm going to explore some of the things. But why is a breech baby? Why is a baby breech? I love the Chinese term. In fact, though, I can never find a reference for it. And I even begin to wonder if I made it up myself. But the baby in a breech is clutching at their mother's heart. Their head and their heart are closer to the mother's heart. I actually like to say now, embracing their mother's heart. Because it's a big thing for the baby to turn around and get ready, put their head down and get ready for birth. It's a big movement from being safe and contained within their mother's womb to being born. But if they're staying in this embracing the mother's heart, it can mean many different things. It may be simply that they're just very happy being in the womb. Maybe the mother's very happy. Maybe the mother doesn't want to prepare for birth because she's been enjoying her pregnancy. It could, on the other hand, mean that the baby's scared of being born. There are many reasons why a baby might be scared of being born. Maybe their mother is scared. Maybe their mother had a difficult previous birth and she's scared of the birth. And babies do pick up on mother's emotions. So that could be a reason. Maybe the mother's living in a difficult situation. Maybe she's living in a war zone or she's with a violent partner. And the baby will also sense that and feel, well, actually, it's much safer being in here than being outside. I have worked with some clients who they've had a shock, they've lost a family member or something's happened, and then the baby feels that shock. So it's an emotional response. It can be an emotional response. In other situations, and this might lead the baby not to be able to turn, the umbilical cord is too short. That's actually quite hard to know before birth, but it could be due to the umbilical cord. It could be because there's fibroids, little growths in the womb that are blocking the baby's head. I've had cases like that. The baby starts to try and move, but its head is stuck. It could be to do with the position of the placenta. It could be to do with the shape of the womb. So there are a few different reasons why, physical reasons, which might actually be stopping the baby from turning, which aren't always able to be seen before the baby's been born, even with scans. And it may just be simply that that's how the baby is. There's nothing the matter at all. The baby can be born quite easily, even at home, even in water, and there's no complications at all. So it's really a lot about what's going on between the mother and the baby and in the mother's life. And so there's not really one simple solution. The main reason why women these days want to try and change their baby is because they're worried about having a cesarean, because a Canadian study in 2000 seemed to indicate that it was safer to deliver a breech baby by a cesarean rather than vaginally, but that study has actually been criticised now. And I've worked with many women who've had a breech baby who've had a really straightforward birth. And there's a well-known midwife in the UK who worked a lot with breech babies, Mary Cronk, and she said either breech babies will come out very easily, or if they start seeming to get stuck or there's a complication, then it is then better to carry on to a cesarean, because it could be one of the things that I mentioned, the amniotic cord being a bit short, or the baby just can't move because there's something physically blocking it. And so as I've said, a lot of the things that we can use to help a baby turn are more about supporting a mother and her baby to prepare for birth. And a lot of that is through connecting with the baby. I'm now going to take the sacrum away for a moment and the placenta, just so we can do one of my favourite connectings, because I found that if mothers talk to their baby and connect with their baby, some people think that's a bit odd, but it's amazing what the mother can pick up on about what's going on for her baby if she takes the time to just listen in. But it's also amazing what the baby can pick up on. As I've already said, there's an emotional aspect to it. So if the baby senses the mother's connecting and listening to them and helping them prepare to be born, then often they turn around if they need. So I think the first thing to encourage a mother to do, rather than trying specific points or techniques, is really simply getting her to tune in, maybe closing her eyes first and bringing her awareness into her body, into her breath, and relaxing, maybe sitting on a ball and putting her feet on the earth like I'm doing and moving with her baby, because many women are sitting too much on hard chairs and they're not getting lots of movement. So moving forward and backwards, circling around, sitting on a ball is really great for helping a baby to move. It's like rocking your baby. And so we can hold our baby and hold our heart, because our baby is embracing our heart. And just begin to tune into why your baby might be embracing your heart. And as a mother, you know what your situation is, and you might even want to talk to your baby about how whatever is going on in the world outside, it's now time to get ready to leave the womb. And another thing I think is helpful is to physically touch the baby. And it's not always so easy to feel where the head and the bottom of the baby are, but you can certainly feel their limbs, especially their elbows and their knees, and just tune in to their body. And gently, perhaps, massaging, stroking around the baby. And if the baby's sitting more up with their head and you're feeling that the head is more to one side, just gently stroking down. There is actually a medical procedure called external cephalic version where they more physically manipulate. I'm not suggesting anything like that, just gently stroking the baby, encouraging the head, if they want to gently go down into the pelvis. Singing to the baby, be creative, whatever you feel is helpful for you and your baby in terms of touch and massage. And it's a really nice thing for the partner, for the father to do as well. And sometimes holding your lower back and giving a little bit of space like that, singing. So that's one thing. And I would suggest that that's something helpful for everybody to do. And with all of this, the main thing is not to be attached, not to be trying to make your baby change position, acknowledging that there may well be a reason why they're in this position, but we're simply connecting with them and encouraging them and preparing them for birth. Another thing is using the ball to lean on and just rock backwards and forwards, or simply circle. And this takes the weight of your baby off your lower back and creates a bit more space for them to move. And if you feel comfortable, you could also put one leg up, maybe being a bit higher, but not too much upright, because if your baby's bottom is down, you don't want to do squatting positions, because that would actually make your baby's bottom go down further. And we want to be encouraging the head. So more just one leg up, but just keep leaning forwards. Another position is actually to do more of an inverted position. So you lean forwards with your bottom higher than your head, and this helps to free your baby's head in the pelvis and give them a bit more space to move if they're ready and wanting to move. And in this position, then I might massage the mum's feet or encourage her partner to do that. And we can use this point, bladder 67. I'll show you that in a minute. So you can work this point in this position, is much more effective than working it with a mum lying down or in any other position, if she's comfortable. Some women even might want to do a little downward dog position, or be at the bottom of the stairs and put their feet up, or be in a swimming pool and go down. So those kind of positions are helpful. I'll just show another inverted position, is lying on your back. It's the same because your hips are higher, and if you find that more comfortable, then do that position. So in all of these positions, you could work this point. I'm going to show you the point. So in any of those more inverted positions, but it could just be leaning over the ball if that's better. Basically, the point is the base of your little toe. And again, I don't like to just massage or hold this point. Traditionally, it would be a needle or burning a Chinese herb called moxa. But the herb can smell quite a lot. And one of the early times I helped a woman we did get their baby to move, I felt, well, she's been burning moxa, so let's try something else. And I did the heart wound, the positions, and then basically I just massaged her foot. And I think it's really good to think that if you crunch up all your toes, you feel everything crunches up in the pelvis. But if you open up your toes, everything opens up. So I often get partners to massage the mum's feet, and then to include the little toe, and maybe use the base of the toe and rub against it, but don't do it in isolation. So that's the famous bladder 67 point. It has been researched a lot for helping breech babies turn, but it's very hard to assess its effectiveness because most breech babies turn anyway. And the other thing that I like to do in one of these forward leaning positions is work on the sacral points. Deep pressure here, which can also help the baby to turn, and it's actually on the same meridian pathway as the little toe, bladder 67, they're bladder points. And so we can try encouraging a baby to turn in a breech position, but I think it's really important to accept that all of these things are good for helping a baby to move, even a baby that's lying back to back, or even a baby that's lying across. All of this gives the baby more space. The positions are great for birth. The point is great for birth. The massage shiatsu techniques are great for birth. But at the end of the day, we need to trust that our baby is in the position that they're in for a reason. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear any stories about any breech babies that you've given birth to or that have turned, and how maybe you as a therapist work with breech babies.